Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the new Pyzel. This board features good old-fashioned traditional camber. So from contact point to contact point you have that arc of traditional camber. That is going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive out of this board. This board is available in 148, 150, 154, 155 wide, 158, 160 wide, 162, and 164 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was mostly bluebird with 4 to 6 inches of light blower pow that turned into heavy pow. You had chopped chunder, perfect corduroy, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in just past middle of the road. Sure, there is a little bit more play in the tips than the midsection, but it's not enough to bring it down to a middle of the road flex. The torsional flex is there, but it's not overly abundant. It actually takes a little bit more effort to twist this board. And I hope you like feeling everything with this board because it causes foot fatigue. Getting chatter in the tip, it resonates back underfoot. You're gonna feel everything with it. Get into bumpy terrain, once again, you're feeling everything underfoot and it's resonating up right into your knees and ankles and hips. You're just taking that hammering all day. You're on corduroy, yeah, you're feeling everything, including that zip when you go across it. It literally feels everything. It is not a damp board by any stretch of the imagination. You'd think with this board being a little stiffer and having traditional camber, it'd have exceptional pop. It doesn't. In fact, I think you actually get less pop out of what you put into this board to load it up. You can send a side hit, you can ollie a cat track gap, you don't have to worry about it, but it's not that good. It's just not fun. It's not predictable. It's not consistent. It's just sort of there. You're like, meh. And when you go and hit jumps, you're like, yeah, it does the job. You know, it throws you off the lip, you're in the air, and then you land. You're like, I don't know, ridden better. That's really what it does. There's no sweet spot in the tips for buttering on this board. So when you press out at the contact points and you're putting your weight into it, it fights you the whole time and it wants to set back down. This is not ideal for buttering, trust me. So you're gonna be manhandling this. So you need more speed and more muscle than you think to get very minimal results out of it. And the same thing holds true to jibbing. When you're on a feature and you're pressing this board, it wants to set down. It fights you the whole time. And when you go sideways, there's a tiny little bit of give that cradles around the feature, not much. You're basically doing a borderline balance board act on it. It can jib. At the end of the day, it's a board that can handle a lap through the park if you have to hit a feature like a rail or a ledge or a tube, but it's not going to be something you want to be riding when you hit it. This board is sluggish edge to edge. It's just one of those decks that doesn't have a quick engagement, and when you are on edge, you do feel that tapered mid-bite actually grip, which is nice on firmer or icier snow, but it still leaves more to be desired. Mild carves are really its strong suit because when you lay this thing over, it tends to kick the tail out. It doesn't want to roop you through the carve, slingshotting you out. It just sort of gets over and then it goes, goodbye, and then next thing you know, you're kicking out. It's just a very mediocre deck on edge. Overall, not really fun for carving. Like, it can handle it, it's a snowboard, but would it be in my top 100 choices? No. Who's this board for? The guy in the white New Balance shoes with the knee-high socks that drives a minivan and questions his life decisions. You know who you are, you know you're watching this, this is the perfect board for you. Well, it was a snowboard, I'll give it that. Wasn't the absolute worst thing I've ridden, wasn't the best thing. Yes has way better boards in their lineup than this thing. This literally feels like it was designed by someone that goes snowboarding 10 days a year and feels that they know how a snowboard should ride, but they've never ridden an actually good snowboard. It's so friggin' mediocre. The pop is mediocre. The edge hold is mediocre. Overall, it's mediocre. Even riding it in POW was mediocre, and it's literally a snowboard. Like, you have to go out of your way to make a snowboard subpar at riding POW. You can ride a twin-tip snowboard and still have a good day riding POW, and this thing was just meh. It leaves so much more to be desired. Comparable boards, the Jones Flagship, the Ride Deepfake, the Capita Mercury. Binding recommendations, the Now Select Pro, the Ride C8, the Union Atlas. This has been my review of the Yes Pyzel. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.